How I find AI faceless YouTube channels that print stupid money. Now guys, this is going to be an exact guide on how I find ultra long form niches and long form niches as a whole and replicate their script style one for one from video ideation, and this video itself is going to be a little bit different and you will see why. You may have noticed a lot of these kind of ultra long form music based channels that post these lo-fi videos, and that's actually what I'm going to be showing you how to do today. Now this is insanely gatekept and this is going to be very exciting. Now guys, really quickly, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. It's honestly just a really cool networking environment. We do free calls, I do strategy calls all the time, and go ahead and join it. It's discord.gg/1%. And guys, obviously, firstly, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my thoughts and showing exactly how I go about finding untapped niches and scaling them. So guys, starting us off, identifying a potential niche and finding competition. We can do this in many different ways. Now, what do I mean by finding competition? When we're looking for a niche and when we're kind of getting into YouTube automation as a whole, we don't necessarily want to go with a niche that, first of all, is oversaturated, but we also want to go with a niche that has competition. Now, what do I mean by competition? I obviously mean you want to have competitors that are doing the same kind of niche and genre as you. Now, one example of a niche I would never ever do is, for example, lo-fi to sleep to, right? This is insanely oversaturated, right? People have been doing lo-fi songs for a very long time. Now, don't get me wrong, people do make a lot of money doing this style of lo-fi content, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this today. But the thing is, if I was starting out, I would never in a million years go with a lo-fi channel that posts videos like the same normal default lo-fi style, right? Because it is so oversaturated. It's been done so many times that standing out is basically impossible. I mean, you can say this guy's been going for over 10 months posting very, very good lo-fi content. And if we go ahead and check his revenue, he's only got 371,000 views in that time with an RPM of like $10. He's probably only made like $4,000 in this entire lifetime of the channel. Now you might be saying, well, how is this relevant to what you're talking about? Now, there are many ways to find a niche, and I want to show you exactly what I mean. But an example of doing a sub-niche in a genre that already has proof of concept and competition would be like this guy. If we look up Minecraft lo-fi to fall asleep to, you're kind of finding a sub-genre that we already know works because lo-fi is massive. There's already a massive community and need for that. But what we're doing is kind of dissecting that and going a little bit less. We're finding something that we can actually stand out in that has competition, but still builds upon that initial concept. Now, here's an example of this. This guy, Drift Away Ambience, he posts Minecraft lo-fi videos and he absolutely kills it. I mean, he's doing 9-hour-long Minecraft lo-fi videos that literally get like 20 to 30,000 views. Now, these videos would probably have an RPM of about, I would probably say about $15. If we go ahead and check his view stats profile, you can see this guy is pulling in 4.7 million long-form views every single month. Of course, as we said, with a $15 RPM, this channel is probably making upwards of $70,000 every single month in pure profit. Now, you might be saying, well, yes, but doesn't he manually need to create all of this music style? No. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in today's video. But this kind of builds into what I was talking about as finding a potential niche and finding competition. Now, an example of this is obviously what I showed you. This guy is still doing lo-fi sounds in the lo-fi genre as a whole, but he's kind of identified a sub niche that has competition and has a demographic that needs to be fulfilled. So you could take this a step further, right? There are so many other genres. You could do Game of Thrones lo-fi, you could do Harry Potter lo-fi. There's a bunch of sub-genres that still have that proof of concept and scalability. Now, how do I find other niches? There's a few other ways to do it. Let's say, for example, you wanted to find a specific lo-fi niche. You could look up lo-fi to fall asleep to. This is what I like to call the SEO method, aka search engine optimization method. And of course, this works for whatever niche you might be doing. I'll show you what I mean. You'd essentially look up lo-fi to fall asleep to, filter it by last week, and kind of scroll through and see if you can identify any sub niches. Now, not oftentimes you'll find this Minecraft one, this example we're showing today, just because it's kind of a different kind of style. But for example, if we wanted to do style like scary stories to fall asleep to, we could simply post something like 4 hours to fall asleep to. And of course, even though it's a little bit of broken English, we're going to see a bunch of ultra long form niches and different channels, like 4 hours of mind-blowing videos to fall asleep to. This is kind of built in the, gameplay section. This one is built in Minecraft. So look, 4 hours of NBA rivalries. You can find so many sub niches in different types of long form genres that it just plays on words and plays on genres as a whole by just utilizing this SEO method. Now, next thing is up, right? We want to go ahead and copy this channel right here. I found this myself, and this is once again another one of those little slight plays in the lo-fi niche. So he posts videos like a scholar's retreat, cozy fantasy music and fireplace ambience, highland journey, relaxing RPG fantasy adventure music, and mountain ambience. Now, we want to copy this channel. First off, let's see how much money he's making. So if we go ahead and check his view stats, he's doing 372,000 long form views a month, and with an RPM of probably about $10, he's doing about $3,000 to $4,000 a month in revenue. And once again, this guy is very, very new, only started about 7 months ago. Now, one of the beautiful things to think about when you are starting a long form, ultra long form channel is that they have a lot more longevity and they last for a lot longer than a short form channel. So when I am building these, I am really looking to build up real brands that will be here 5 years down the line. Now, first things first, how do we get the actual background videos? Let's start dissecting it and figuring out how to replicate a niche like this right now. So first off, you guys can see it is a very, very simple system. He's using obviously music background and of course just a simple animation and one still image that stays the entire time. So how do we copy the still image? All we're going to do is simply take a screenshot of his background content or the background photo that we want to copy, and we're going to head over to ChatGPT. Now this is absolutely broken. I've sent ChatGPT the screenshot that we obviously want to replicate, and I said I'm starting a long form lo-fi ambient niche. Write me the prompt to give ChatGPT to replicate this image for the background content. Make it in the exact style, but obviously a different scene. Write me the prompt and reference the same image in the prompt. Now, by doing this, we're essentially getting ChatGPT to further kind of validate and replicate its own style. So this is going to give us a prompt to then give ChatGPT once again to make the final product. And here we go. It's gone ahead and written the prompt. So once again, we're going to copy the image itself, and we're going to, of course, copy everything it gave us. We're going to simply paste, create image, and watch how insane this is. As you can see, it said, create a serene cinematic forest scene inspired by attached reference image, and then of course we uploaded it. Maintain the exact same paintery lighting style, color palette, and composition depth. Guys, this is absolutely insane, and you have no excuse to not be starting ultra long form or even a long form YouTube niche with today's resources that are readily available to you. So I'm simply going to go ahead and wait for this and show you what it cooked up. And in the meantime, guys, while we're waiting for that, if you want to go ahead and work directly with myself and my team, go ahead and check out start.intervault.co. We have a completely free training video here with myself. And if you do like what you see, go ahead and book a personal call with myself directly. By clicking one of these specific times, we'll chat and see if we can potentially help you scale your faceless channel to 7K a month. Of course, once again, that's start.intervault.co. But without further ado, let's get back to ChatGPT and see what this made. And there we go, guys. It's literally gone ahead and replicated the same kind of style. As you can see, some of the trees are actually moving a little bit, and you might be saying, well, I have my image. How do I make the trees move and do stuff like that? There's many ways to do this. You can literally look up a runway AI. It essentially turns images into videos. It's pretty sick, and you can kind of explain what you want. But now that we have our image, that is basically our kind of whole video itself done. Now you might be saying, well, how do you get the music? Because obviously that's a massive factor. Do I have to sit here and wait hours and hours and hours and learn how to create music? No, this is one of the amazing things about what we actually have access to now. Let me show you exactly how to make your own music. Now, your first option is obviously going with Real Music, which is just a licensed supplier. Now, there's many ways to do this. You can go with Epidemic Sounds. You can essentially pay and like actually associate your YouTube channel to kind of the website itself, so we can monetize one channel per platform. That is the paid option. That's one of the ways you can go about doing it. But of course, you are going to have to deal with people hearing that same thing on other people's channels. Or the alternative is going with a platform like Suno AI. Now, you might be wondering, well, what the hell is Suno AI? Now, this platform is insane. You can essentially generate music for completely free. You can just keep using your free trial on different accounts, but this is quite crazy. Let me go ahead and show you exactly how I would do this. So I'm going to go ahead and take one more screenshot of this channel as a whole, so AI kind of understands what I'm talking about. I'm going to say, now, write me a prompt to give Suno AI music to make me a music style instrumental in the same genre as this. Now, by doing this, we're once again getting a prompt from ChatGPT, but we're going to feed that to Suno and see what it actually makes for us. And here we go. It said, here's the perfect Suno AI prompt. I'm simply going to go ahead and copy this directly into Suno. And one thing you want to make sure you are doing is always ticking the instrumental option, because what that's essentially going to do is make it so it doesn't have kind of singing or anything like that. And there we go. I'm going to press create masterpiece. This will take a couple minutes to do. But once again, this is one of the beautiful things, right? While we're waiting for this, you can essentially keep creating music for your specific channel, because obviously the channel music kind of stays the same throughout the entire video. Like It's somewhat just medieval fantasy, and they do that for every single video. So what you can actually do is create a folder on your computer. Let's say your channel was called Fantasy Music. You would continuously, every single time you download or create a song, drag that into the folder directly and just build up a massive catalog of music that you can continue to reuse every single video. So essentially, all you're having to do to actually create these videos is, of course, generate the image, which we just showed you how to do, paste that on there, make a few little animations, add some rain sounds or some music or whatever it might be, you know, some crackling, some fireplace crackling, whatever it has to be. And then simply from your folder, continuously just drag in the music files that you've generated in a different order. So once you have like 10 hours worth of music that you've created, you entirely own it yourself. You can continue to just cycle through and siphon through that catalog. And here we go. It's completely finished. Let's go ahead and listen to this. And as you can see, it's not really in the style we want. You would definitely want it more fantasy style. So I would simply say, make me an instrumental fantasy village medieval lo-fi song. I'm gonna go ahead and one more time press create, and let's see if this is kind of more optimized for what we need. And here we go, guys. Tell me this is not insane. I've gone ahead and redone it with that new kind of revised prompt, and it's made us a song called The Enchanted Village. Let's give this a listen. That is insane. There is no excuse to not be utilizing this. I mean, you can literally pump out 5 lo-fi channels all within the next week, posting daily content. Like, this is insane. Kind of the capabilities and what we have at our fingertips to just generate an entire video in literal seconds. So of course, all I would go ahead and do is press the download button. I'd save it onto my computer as an MP3 file, drag it into my folder, and just continuously begin to reuse those music files over and over and over again in a different order whilst generating new ones every single day. Now, this is probably the biggest factor that people keep missing out on, getting burnt out. Do not expect to blow up in the first week or the first 2 weeks. It's just not realistic. Yes, it happens, don't get me wrong, but it's just not going to happen to everybody. It does take time. There are massive people that are making 100K a month that didn't blow up immediately. It takes time. It takes some time to build up. And of course, to get your first outlier and kind of start doubling down, you can't expect results immediately. So when you are doing an ultra long form, heck, even a short form channel, be ready to kind of wait for it to do well. Don't expect results. And this is what I say to everybody. If the capital and the amount it costs you to start a channel, if you can't sustain yourself for a month while waiting, do not do that channel. It's not realistic, and it does take time to build up this business that will generate you passive money for years to come. It's not a quick process and it's not immediate. But if you do stick with it and you build up a massive empire of channels, it's pretty unlikely you won't eventually get a channel that does quite well. And of course, once again, this old world melodies channel, once you are monetized, has a fairly good RPM, presuming you are posting videos that are about 2 hours long. And guys, keep in mind, the other channel we spoke about, the Minecraft Lo-Fi channel, they're doing this. You can kind of replicate between outliers, right? These guys are posting 8-hour videos. So we know that doing this kind of niche in the 8 to 9 hour section does still work. So by doing that and kind of creating our own sub niche once again, we can combine that medieval fantasy style, but combine it with this length of videos and make an 8-hour long video. Once again, doesn't cost us any extra resources because once again, you're literally just looping the same video and the same music files over and over and over. So by doing that, we'd probably take the RPM from about $15 to upwards of $20. And guys, once again, if you want to work directly with myself and my team one-on-one, book a completely free call on start.innovault.co, pick a time that works for you, and I will chat to you guys and see if I can help scale your channel from scratch. And of course, really quickly, guys, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Once again, it's a super cool place where we all kind of connect and talk and share results, and there's free calls every few days. Yes, guys, I hope you learned something new. If you did, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.